श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। So we have to begin our actual teaching. Yes, correct? So when the question was asked by Sanakadi Rishis, mind enters into the objects and objects enter into the mind, how to separate them, how to free the mind from the objects, and how to remove the objects from the mind. So the yoga prashna it is, subtle yoga. So how to do it? So Brahmaji thought about it, but he couldn't find answer. So he invoked Lord Vishnu, his father, come creator of his own himself, Brahmaji's creator. So Bhagavan Vishnu appeared in the form of Hamsa, right? And interesting means Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, I appeared to Brahmaji at that time in the form of Hamsa. That is Vishnu. But who is telling this? Krishna. What does it mean? Krishna is none other than Bhagavan Vishnu only. Then when he appeared in the form of Hamsa, they all went and then prostrated to Hamsa and asked, and then itaham munibihi prushtavan. So they asked this question, who are you? Sanakad Rishis went to that Hamsa and said, iti aham munibihi prushtah tattva jignasubihi tada yad avocham aham tebhyah taduddhava nibhodame. When they asked him, who are you? Bhagavan Krishna says, when they asked me, who are you? I started teaching them like this. Now, Gambhir teaching actually. So let us see as best as we can. Vastuno yadyamanatvam atmana prashna idrushaha katham ghateta vo vipraha vakturvameka ashrayaha vastuno yadyamanatvam atmana prashna idrushaha katham ghateta vo vipraha vakturvameka ashrayaha He Vipraha, O Brahmanas. Now, Yedi. Actually, from Vastunaha means what? In essence. In essence, in truth, in reality. Vastunaha. Yedi. What is that? Ananatvam Atmanaha. In fact, when you asked me, who are you? In reality, there is only one self, all pervading reality. So, when you asked me this question, who are you? How is it possible, first of all, to exist? The possibility of this question itself is ruled out because there are no two. If there are two, then you can ask, who are you? So, Vastunaha, in fact, Atmanaha Ananatvam. Ananatvam. Ananatvam means Nanatvam, difference. Manyness. Ananatvam, no differences. Nanatvam nahi hai. So, Idrusha Prashnaha Katham Gatheta. Now, how, first of all, this question is possible to exist when there is only one self everywhere? तो कहाँ मारा देखिए. Who are you? Whom are you asking? Is there anybody other than you? Is there any two? सीधा वहां पहुंच गए. नो व्यावहारिक भाषा. एक हथौड़े लेके ऐसा मारा सिर पे कि चारों को. How can you ask this question? I am seeing the moon and the lander and Pragyan there. South Pole. अब वो कांच है ना, कहाँ से दिखता है पूरा चांद? Anyway, so Vastunah yadi ananatvam atmanaha idrisha prashna katham gatheta he vipraha. And what is it I can answer? What is the basis for me to reply? Ka ashrayaha. How can I reply first of all this question? You tell me. Means what? You asked me, who are you? But I want you to think, are there really two? Oh. See? Therefore, answer how to separate object from the mind बाद में बताएंगे. First of all, your question itself is not correct. So Guruji has given in this two meanings actually, Vikari rupena vasati iti vastuhu, avikari rupena, both are can be there actually. Vastu means what? That which exists without any change in itself. That is one meaning of vastu. And that is Brahma vastu. So Brahma ko bhi vastu bol dete na. This is also vastu. These vastus in the sthula plane or any other in matter, all those objects are subjected to change. Therefore, Vikari is there. They are all Vikaris, subjected to change. But in the case of Brahma vastu, it's avikari. So that also is a vastu. So that vastu means what? Avikari vastu. And these are all other than Brahma is Vikari vastus. So vastu is means what? That avikari vastu ka prastav yahan pe ho raha hai. That vastu where there is no change in it. It's one without a second. There is no modification in it. There is no division in it. Therefore, this question actually, when you ask me, who are you? The fundamental error again. What? The fundamental error is that they are really two. When they are two, this question is valid. When they are only one, when it is only one, without a second vastu, advitiya vastu, where is the possibility of this questions that exists? It cannot exist itself. So you tell me. So the possibility itself is deleted. So, as we are all stunned to hear this answer, they are also must have stunned. हम लोग पूछने आए तो ये तो ऐसा मार दिया. अब हम कैसा प्रश्न पूछे? अब who will answer my question now? How to separate objects from the mind and mind from the objects? वो तो रह ही गया ऐसे ही. And so he continues to explain. Bhagavan Hamsa Rupena, he explains this. That's why Gurudev, whenever we used to take a big cake on his birthday to wish him happy birthday, many times I heard him, I am not born. I am not born. Then we would say, that's fine, cut the cake. We will eat. That's okay. We are not bothered whether you are born or not. We brought a vegetarian cake. You please cut it and we eat. So then he would laugh in a great laughter, and then he will feed everybody. He will also eat. That's okay. But he is ever rooted in that wisdom that I am born. I am never born. That's why the first name Ajaya Namaha, salutation to the one who is never born. You know, in Yoga Paribhasha, it's very difficult states of consciousness. It's a dedicated life. Spirituality is a 24 hours business. 24 hours business. Like Tapon Maharaj, Ramana Maharshi. Gurudev. Gurudev had done a lot of his tapasya in previous lives. He had already completed his almost all journey. He needed one strike, which Tapon Maharaj gave. He's already Pagya soul. Anyway, so what is importance is, yogis talk about this language, that in our case, what happens, why we feel we are born? We know we are born. Let us think about it, meditate on this. Okay, we are born. But why do we say that we are born? Because there is a break in my self-awareness. So, very deep thought. Shall we go ahead deep into it? Okay. Now see. Thoughts continuously flow. First let us understand thoughts, then we go into that. And every thought is different from the previous thought in its color, texture, content, intensity, all that. A thought comes. Then I identify with that thought. Then I become that thought. For example, thought of anger. Anger rose. Anger I am giving so that it can be easily, we can relate to this example. When anger rises, I take birth as an angry man. Because I identify with the thought, then I take birth as what? Angry man. Then somebody comes, pacifies me, Then I identify with that thought of peaceful thought. Then I say, I became peaceful. Now I am born as a peaceful man. Now, because these two are very close by, next to next, anger thought, then peace thought, close by. So, I am my awareness as self that I was angry few moments back, now I am peaceful. Both I am able to relate because the birth of an angry man, then I became angry man, identified with anger. That angry man got dissolved. Then I am born as a peaceful man. So, angry man birth is different from birth of peaceful man. But I am able to relate these two because within these two, my higher awareness as witness of these two is not lost. There, that vichitti is not taking place in that self awareness. I am aware. Both. Okay. Hope you're getting it. I am aware. So, self awareness is there. So, I was born as an angry man. And then later on, I am born as a peaceful man. Both have gone. I remain. So, when you ask me, I will say I am birthless. Why? I am neither born as an angry man. Mane, I am neither the angry man nor the peaceful man. These two are opposite to each other. They got cancelled. Anger came, peaceful came, peace came. Both in angry man, I was there. Peaceful man, I was there. These two came and went away. But me, I am aware of that continuity of myself in these two states is not lost. Therefore, to me, there is no birth. As an angry man or as a peaceful man. I am not born. That modification came. When I identify with it, I am born. Not identifying, then later on I realize that no, I am there. So my continuity of self-awareness is there. Okay, now this continues. Some experiences we forget. So longer durations. So that means we are born every moment with the thought a new individual is born. With that thought, that individual dies. Another thought, another individual. That dies, that individual dies. Now, I am actually jumping from one thought to other thought without switching my awareness to myself, who is always there. But I jump from one to one, one to one, one to one. So, I am taking birth and dying, birth and dying, birth and dying, because the self-awareness that I am witnessing all this is lost. Now, in my eternal existence, a long life or short life of couple of years, 80 years, 100 years, 70, 60, 40, whatever it is, that itself is a thought in my eternal existence. Like a birth of a thought, angry thought, peaceful thought, greedy thought, that thought, this thought. So in my eternal existence, the birth is a thought. it rises in my consciousness and drops off. Another birth may come, may not come. It drops off. Now, between these births, I lose my self-awareness. So I forget. So can I exist in this eternal existence without losing the awareness of higher self? Witnessing every birth itself is a thought manifestation and dissolves in my consciousness. So when I shift my focus to that level, there is no birth, there is no death. Because I am very, very drowned in tamo guna, so I forget all this existence of my eternal existence. And so many births that the thought it rises in me. I identify with it. So my awareness, self-continuity of my self-awareness is cut. And I forget myself as a higher self. So every time I am identified with that particular incarnation, I die as an individual, born as another individual, identify with that, then another individual identify with that. So life after life I am living nonsensical living without my awareness, losing my awareness of higher self. And therefore birth and death and birth and death and birth and death and takes place. And when I remember that in my eternal existence, which is one without a second, just as thoughts rise, I identify, I am born as that, then I die as that. Similarly, in the eternal existence, in the eternal time, what are your time talking about? 80 years, 100 years, 90 years of life that you are talking about? Stupidity. It is just like a passing thought and dissolves. So when I identify with eternal existence, there is no duality. When there is no duality, there is no question of you and I. That's it. So Bhagavan Krishna says, Lord Vishnu says, Hamsa says, that where very question that who are you itself cannot be answered because there is a fallacy in that question. कहाँ मारा देखा? They were looking at Vishnu. हमारे लेवल पे आके जवाब देना जरा. बोले ठीक. Then he says, पंचात्मकेषु भूतेषु समानेषु च वस्तुतः को भवानिति वः प्रश्नः वाचारम्भो ह्यनर्थकः पञ्चात्मकेषु भूतेषु समानेषु च वस्तुतः को भवानिति वः प्रश्नः वाचारम्भो ह्यनर्थकः. Okay. In the matter, panchatmakeshu bhuteshu samaneshu cha vastutaha. Now all the bodies are made up of what? Are made up of Pancha Mahabhutas. All the lokas, all the upadhis, Pancha Mahabhutas only. There is no other sixth element. All five Mahabhutas only added. Sixth is mind, they say. But all the rupas, akritis are all formed out of Pancha Mahabhutas. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jala, Prithvi. But what about other lokas? Same stuff. But if they are all made up of same stuff, why can't we see them? Same stuff, but the formulas of mixture is different from loka to loka. So in this loka, this loka is made up of Panchatanmatras, combination of tamoguna aspects of Pancha Mahabhutas. So Tattvabodha you read, then principle is what? Half space, 1/8 Vayu, 1/8 Agni, 1/8, that is 1/8 air, 1/8 fire, 1/8 water, 1/8 earth. So 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 is equal to 1/2 plus 1/2 space is equal to, then that half is equal to Akasha. So in Akasha, in the space, material space, all the four elements are also included. Similarly in the air, all other four are included 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 plus half air. In Agni, half fire principle. Rest all half is combination of 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Like that, this is the formula of this physical plane. What do you mean physical plane? Physical plane means all these universes, galaxies, systems that we are able to see these physical eyes, that's all Bhuta only, Bhuloka only. Not Bhuloka, not earth. All this entire cross section of the Brahmanda, of one layer, is physical plane only. Oh, what about other lokas? Other lokas are mixture formula is different. Because formula is different, we cannot see it. Because this mixture of formula, our formula, to see them, our objects are, our sense organs are made only to grasp that range only. 20 to 20,000 hertz, within the Vibjar, color, 7 colors, ultra red, infrared, very harmful also to see them. So we are in a range. In that range only we are confined. But within this range also there are so many differences are there, ups and downs. Like you say Bhuloka, there are heights, Bhuloka, you take earth. Earth is not a plane, no? Sometimes some oceans and depths and mountains and valleys and so many things are there. So all the lokas are made up of Pancha Mahabhutas. Krishna says, Vasudeva says, Panchatmakeshu bhuteshu samaneshu. So they are all equal. Everybody, every physical body, every body is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas. If that is the case, from the standpoint of Pancha Mahabhutas, 5 great elements, what are you asking? Who are you? What is it to say answer? You are a Pancha Mahabhuta, I am Pancha Mahabhuta. Why to ask this question? From the body level, in Atman level, no difference. So this question is redundant. Who are you? And Panchamahabhutas level, this we are all made up of same matter. So who are you? Redundant. Like Chandala asked, no? Lord Shiva. Hatiye, hatiye, hatiye. Gaccha gaccha iti. Chandala asked same question to Adi Shankara. अच्छा ठीक है, हटो हटो बोल रहा हूँ, किसको कहाँ से हटाना बताओ. Self wise we are all pervading, there is no difference. You and I are one, so we cannot remove. Panchamaha, you say your body also made up of Panchamahabhutas, my body also Panchamahabhutas. अब बताओ किसको कह रहे हो हटने के लिए. चांडालोस्तु सतुद्विजोस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा mama. He fell at the feet of Lord Shiva in that form. Said, Maharaj, Chandala roop mein you taught me a great lesson. So therefore, this Vacharambaha is it's simply, vikara, just is only a modification of speech. Anarthakaha. There is no meaning in it, it's a wasteful question. Who are you? So from standpoint of Atman, we are one. This question is redundant. From the standpoint of Panchamahabhutas, we are one, same matter. Therefore, this question is redundant. But then why I see duality? That is Maya. That is the play. That is the play here. So therefore, understood so far? Manasa vachasa drishtya gruhyate nyairapi indriyaihi ahameva na matto nyat iti buddhyatvamanjasa manasa vachasa drishtva ahameva na matonyat. Wonderful. Therefore, क्या कह रहे? मनसा वचसा दृष्टिया गृह्यते अन्यैहि अपि इंद्रियैहि. Whatever is grasped, apprehended, understood, comprehended. What? Manasa, vachasa, drishtya, anyairapi indriyaihi. So whatever you grasp through indriyas, sense organs, mind and speech, ahameva. All that is me only. Na mattah anyat. There is nothing. Mattah parataram nanyat. Kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mai sarvamidam protam. Sutre manigana iva. There is nothing other than me. Higher than me, there is nothing. And what is this world? This is also me only. Everything, whatever you see, antar bahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayana stitaha anantamavyayam kavigum samudrentam vishvashambhavam. And where to see? Padma kosha pratikashagam hrudayanchapyatho mukham atho nishtyavitasyante. It continues. So therefore, whatever I see is me alone, he says. Whatever you see through mind, intellect and sense organs is me alone. Iti buddhyadhvam. Anjasa. That you understand. Anjasa means what? Inquiry. So, actually, you must understand Buddhyastvam. Anjasa means by inquiry. I was just thinking, what could be the difference between inquiry and enquiry? So, enquiry is outside, inquiry is inside. Enquiry is in multiplicity, inquiry is trying to find out the essence of all those things, common denominator by going within. Inquiry. So, outside, when we inquire, oh, this is chair, that is table, this is glass, this is bike, that is building, that is window, this is glass, etc., etc., etc. When I go inside, what is this essence? What is the essence of this? What is Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittuketyeva satyam. When I inquire, when I find out that it's all mrittika only, mud alone. So now, how to know this, that everything is Paramatma? Now we say, everything is Parama. In the case of mud and the pot, I can see mud transformed into pot. That way is Brahman transformed into Jagat? No. There is no change in Brahma Vastu. There is no transformation in Brahman to become this world. No modification. But yet, Lord Vishnu says, all this is me alone. Therefore, actually adhyastha vastu, the object which is superimposed, that superimposed object is only because of error in perception. So, even though when I am seeing the snake, actually I am seeing the rope only and not the snake. I am seeing rope only. But illusion, because of delusion, I see it as a snake. But essentially it is rope. Even though I am seeing the snake, actually I am seeing rope only. There is no snake there. If there is snake, you can see, but I am seeing it, that's okay, your perception. But then, can you see snake without the rope there? No. Is the snake really existing? No. Is a snake visible to the next man? No, need not be. Somebody says, no, it's not snake, sir, it is rope, I can see. In a Riva ashram, we had a youth camp, 10, 12 days, 15 days back, or something, on 12, 13, 14, 15. So they gave me one room, good. We had some meeting in the night. Some youth came and then we were just talking. So they all left. While going, one fellow said, would open the door. In the corner, a coiled snake, highly poisonous, was staying in the room. Very poisonous snake, highly poisonous. Like a bamboo type, wrong rings hota hai iska. Very poisonous snake it is. This much mota, coiled, and it is enough to bite, very, very horrible. It's coiled and happily landing and doing meditation there. Bound, like a mound, triangular mound जैसा सो रहा है. 10 बज गया रात को, तो स्वामी जी यहाँ पे स्नेक है. तो सब लोग गए. मैंने बोला वहाँ पे स्वामी जी को, यार यहाँ पे कमरे में स्नेक है, किसी को बुलाओ, हटा देंगे. तो लोग आ गए टॉर्च लाइट लेके, पकड़ ले. I said, किसी भी हालत में उसको मारना तो नहीं, जो कुछ भी करे मारना नहीं. अब it can go anywhere ना, in the room. When you wake up, it can go anywhere. दरवाजे के बाहर वहीं पे है कॉर्नर में, but then it can go anywhere. So one little girl from Rivan, I think अरे दुख के देख रही है उसको पीछे खींचा. ये तो रोप सुपर इम्पोज्ड ऑन, आई मीन स्नेक सुपर इम्पोज्ड ऑन रोप नहीं है, सही स्नेक है, बाहर पीछे खींचा. तो then they came and then they just woke up very. Somebody says no, मारना पड़ेगा. सर मारना तो नहीं है, जो कुछ भी हो मारना नहीं, मैं इधर ही बैठूंगा, मारना नहीं. तो they, and then that fellow was deep samadhi. When you pushed that, it fell down. It was just sticking to the wall, small balancing, and they're sleeping there. The mound गिर गया ऐसे. It did not uncoil. So you were just waking up from tamas. But then they pushed out of the door, and it woke up, became straight, and ran away into the trees and all that. So Gurudev also used to say, if you see real snake and mistake it to be a rope, there will be a problem. So there is a snake on the rope. But other man says it is not snake. Guru says, I can see it, it is not snake. Trust me. It's a rope. But I see it as a snake. Because I see it as a snake, I am scared and after effects are different. Shivering, fever, fear, etc. Now, even though I am seeing the snake, actually I am seeing what? Rope only. So therefore this Jagat which is Adhyastam in Supreme Brahman is actually Brahman alone. That's what Krishna says, whatever you see through Indriyas, mind and intellect, actually by inquiry you will come to know that it is all me alone. Brahmaivahamidam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam chaitada vidyaya trigunaya shesham maya kalpitam. Beautiful thing. Brahma eva idam sarvam chinmatra vistaritam. So, Brahmandas are all superimposed on him. So, in fact, is what? Everything is, essence is pure consciousness alone. Okay, scientifically, what is the essence of every substance? Energy. And still go, energy itself is matter. Energy is moving, transforming from one form to other form. So Prakriti, energy is Shakti Swarupini, Prakriti. And what is that which is making the energy move? Consciousness behind. So in that consciousness, energy is Adhishtitam. Is really energy true? No. Why? It's illusion. Why? Science only answers. No, the wonder is, now the question is, that this whole, from the big huge star, so much matter comes out. I am talking of not galaxy, I am only talking about Saura Mandalam, a star family. Our sun is a small star, but there are big stars are there. Much more bigger than 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 1,00,000 times stars have been bigger than our sun also existing in this vast infinite universe. So it's existing. Now from that, so many galaxies, I mean, with around that star, so many planets, so many innumerable planets and asteroids and matter dancing around that. Huge energy it is. And galaxy also. All galactic center is there. Galactic center is huge black hole. And the entire matter dancing around, the huge light and heat, etc., all gases. all sucked into black hole and disappears and nowhere can be traced. Now the question is, they are asking now. When I was with some physics professor long back, we were discussing all these things. He was very fascinated about that subject. So then they said, Swamiji, now latest science proposal is something. What is proposal? What is happening to the entire matter in this point of the space, entering into black hole and disappearing, and there nothing exists. As though nothing happened there. The spot is clear. So actually when this illusion completely is Brahman withdraws, there is nothing, no matter at all. It's only Brahma Vastu. There is no Advitiyam, no? Advitiya Vastu. So Bhagavan Krishna says, Manasa Vachasa Drushtya Gruhyate Anyairapi Indriyaihi Ahameva Namatta Anyat Iti. There is nothing other than me. All this is me alone. How to know? By inquiry. By inquiry, you will understand. Then these Upanishadic statements will be revealed. See? Very beautiful. So therefore what? I am you, you are me. And hence, this question, who are you, is irrelevant. If question, who are you, is irrelevant, and everything is you alone, my question of how to remove mind from the, withdraw the mind from the objects and how to throw out object from the mind, uska jawab kya hai? Actually speaking, there is no need to give jawab now. वो तो ठीक है महाराज, फिर मैं तो परेशान हूं इससे. Is it troubling me? You say it is not snake, it is rope. But snake, I am seeing snake hissing and हवा चल रही है तो पूंछ भी उसका ऊपर उठ रहा है. The head also is rising because of हवा. The rope is, अरे बाबा देखो ऊपर उठ रहा है. I am suffering. Bhagavan Krishna says, okay, I'll come down to your level. ठीक है? So, now, so the first question, what is that? How to remove the object from the mind and how to withdraw the mind from the objects. This presupposes that there is a mind, there are sense objects, and they are you, there is you, separate from mind and objects, and there is also proposition that objects entered the mind entered the objects, and there is also another notion that they are disturbing you, you are being disturbed by them. All these presuppositions only. There is no truth in it, none of them. Why? They are neither, from your higher stand, there is neither mind nor indriyas, because all is Brahman. Oh, you are not different from them in essence. They are not different from you in essence. When essence, same, one essence only. How can there is nothing other? When there is nothing other, who is disturbing you? And when mind and sense objects are not you, why should you be worried about them? All these things are based on wrong notions only. This question has come. So when I ask this question, I have to remove the object from the mind and withdraw the mind from the objects. I am giving a status of reality to these two. That's what Bhagavan Krishna addresses here. Very high, isn't it? अब देखिए जवाब दे रहे हैं अभी. गुणेश्वा विशते चेतो गुणाश्चेतसि च प्रजाः जीवस्य देह उभयम् गुणाश्चेतो मदात्मनः गुणेश्वा विशते चेतो जीवस्य देह उभयम गुणाश्चेतो मदात्मनः। अब देखिए, नाउ क्वेश्चन इज आंसर्ड. ओके, आई एम आंसरिंग योर क्वेश्चन. डोंट वरी, अभी तक जो दिया हाई फंडा दे दिया. अब चलो, विल टॉक अबाउट इन योर लैंग्वेज. ठीक है. नाउ गुणाः आविशते चेतः. सी, ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंटर इनटू द माइंड. चेता मीन्स माइंड, गुणा ऑब्जेक्ट्स. सो गुणाः आविशते, प्रविशते मनः. सो ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंटर इनटू द माइंड. गुणाः चेतसि एंड चेतो गुणश्चे गुणेषु आविशते चेतः. गुणाः चेतसि एंड ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंटर इनटू द माइंड. So objects enter into the mind and mind enter into the objects. Gunaha chetasi. Objects enter into the mind, mind entering into the objects. Gunaha avishate chetah. Gunaha, sir, objects entering into the mind. Chetah, gunaha. Gunaha chetasi. Objects, sorry, into the mind, mind into the objects, both are there. So mind is entering out, entering into the objects. Objects also entering into the mind. Hey Prajaha, oh my dear sons of Brahma. Now actually he says, Ubhayam gunaschetaha. Ubhayam, what these two also, Madatmanah jivasya dehaha. So, madatmanah jivasya gunaha chetaha gunaschetaha ubhayam dehaha. Now see, these two, first of all, let us go one by one. Otherwise, it is a little difficult to understand. First of all, he says, both are upadhis of jiva, both are upadhis of objects, also upadhi of jiva, mind also upadhi of jiva. Which jiva? The jiva whose essential nature is me. जीव का स्वरूप क्या है? जो जीव जिसका स्वरूप मैं ही हूं, उस जीव का ये वस्तु, बाह्य वस्तु और मन उपाधि बनते हैं. तो क्या है? जीव के उपाधि. जीव के उपाधि क्या क्या है? मन और वस्तु. ये दोनों जीव की उपाधि है. तो आपका प्रश्न क्या है? मन ऑब्जेक्ट्स में अंदर प्रवेश कर रहा है, वस्तुओं में, विषय वस्तु मन में प्रवेश हो रहा है, तो ठीक है, मन और विषय वस्तु दोनों है, साथ में रखो, इकट्ठा रखो वहां पे. और ये दोनों क्या है? जीव की उपाधि है. और जीव क्या है? मेरा ही स्वरूप है. सो दोनों जीव को उपाधि है. और जीव का स्वरूप क्या है? मैं ही हूं. वास्तव में जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः. इसका मतलब क्या है? विल सी नाउ. नाउ सी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, हाँ, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड माई माइंड इज माई उपाधि. ओके, हाउ कैन ऑब्जेक्ट्स बी माई उपाधि? व्हाट इज उपाधि? उप means samipe. Actually, whatever is, upa samipe stitva. Samipe means proximity. Upa samipe stitva. Swiyam rupam. This is called definition of upadhi. Swiyam rupam adadhati. Adadhati. I give an example. Swiya adadhati iti upadhi. Meaning what? This is a crystal. This is a crystal. Crystal is pure white in color. Crystal color. Shuddha spatika. And you take red flower nearer to the crystal. Now that crystal becomes red. So this red flower becomes upadhi of that crystal. So upa samipe sthitva, staying nearer to the vastu, the crystal. What happening? Sviya rupam adadati. What is the color of that hibiscus? Red. So red color adadati. It is painted. It paints the crystal with red color. Paints, but not real paint. Without, another question, continue, without bringing any intrinsic change in the crystal. क्रिस्टल का स्वभाव बदले बिना, क्रिस्टल का असली रंग वास्तव में बदले बिना उसका रंग बदल देती है. कौन? ये पुष्प, लाल कलर का पुष्प, लाल पुष्प. Suppose the red pushpa really transforms the color of the crystal into red, then it cannot regain its original color. Original स्वभाव it cannot regain. Why? बदल गया, इसका रंग ही बदल गया, वो डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा. Lucky, it won't change. But क्या है? It creates an illusion that the color of the crystal is changed to red because of the proximity of that red flower nearer the crystal, without actually changing the intrinsic nature of crystal, intrinsic color of the crystal. क्रिस्टल का असली रंग, स्फटिक का अपना रंग, अपना स्वरूप, अपना स्वभाव बदले बिना आभास की सृष्टि हो रही है कि जैसे कि इसका रंग बदल गया हो. उसको कहते हैं उपाधि. माने जो वस्तु साथ उसका धर्म आर सुपर इम्पोज्ड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर वस्तु विच इज इन क्लोजर. सो माइंड इज क्लोजर टू सेल्फ, उपाधि. इंद्रियास, माइंड, बुद्धि, उपाधि. सो उपाधि धर्मास आर देयर. What is mind? Disturbance and agitation. Sankalp vikalpatmakam manaha. Now these are actually proximity of the jiva swarupa, which is pure consciousness. But क्या होगा? These dharmas are superimposed on jiva, and jiva says I am disturbed, I am agitated. Sukha dukkha, all these things are upadhi dharmas. But I identify with them, then I become sukhi dukhi. So this is called upadhi. So they may be closer to me, but they cannot actually influence my swarupa. Therefore, mukti is to be recognition. It is not any attainment. So all of us are already mukta purushas. There is nothing called realization, enlightenment. It's all ambak. But then we don't know that recognition is enlightenment. The recognition is enlightenment. Okay, now upadhi understood. Now, okay, mind is close to me, isn't not? Mind and buddhi are within me, very close to me. Now, how can I say sense objects are close to me? How can they form my upadhi? इसका थोड़ा समझेंगे. अब देखिए, now objects, Bhagavan Vishnu says both are upadhi of jiva. Mind is my upadhi, understand. Upasamipe, it is close to me, understood. How come objects be my upadhi? थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा. You know, one angle of thinking is what kind of objects enter into my mind? This has to be inquired into. What kind of objects? What kind of objects disturb me? Not all objects don't disturb me. Not all objects disturb me. Then what are they? Those objects which are an extension of my desires and vasanas, they alone disturb me. I am a purest vegetarian. So no amount of non-vegetarian dish can ever tempt me nor disturb me. It is not an upadhi. It cannot taint me. It cannot color me. It cannot cause any thought in me, a desire in me. Nor an alcohol, nor a smoking cigar. They are not of my nature. Nor fascinating car, OD car, or a beautiful building. So, they don't disturb me. What may disturb if mic is not functioning properly? So those objects which are an extension of my desires and vasanas, I am actually disturbed by them alone, not all objects in the world. About 15-20 years back, somebody used to stay in opposite or ashram. Our program hota tha, mic abhi bhi jaise chal. They said a police complaint that it's creating nuisance in the evening, lot of talks and all. They found out a speaker hai nahi wahan pe speaker kabhi bhi. So there's psychological problem, but we don't want anything here. So we ignored that. Nobody came and inquired nothing. Pura kya case hai nahi. Why? Because even a small bhajan or kirtan, no, I get disturbed because I don't like it. And maybe pop music, I support. So my vasana ke anuguna. So all those objects which are actually, so by those objects only I am disturbed, isn't it? Otherwise, lucky, not all objects don't disturb me. Bach gaye. If everything disturbs you, some people, so much get excited about flowers. Excitement. Some people get excited about the natures of Pahad. Oh my God! Beautiful. Think. Therefore, those objects, again repeating, which are an extension of my desires or vasanas, that alone disturbs us. Is it not? So those objects become my upadhi, along with the mind. So what is the mind? Mind is the causal state of the vastu. And effect is manifested thought. So therefore, what is happening now? So how objects becomes upadhi of the mind is actually, now we have to understand it this way, that objects also are my upadhi. Why? Those objects in the proximity, when they are in proximity, when my mind is there, closer to the objects are closer to me. So I get disturbed in two ways. Either by thinking of an object in the absence of an object, or when I am not thinking of a particular object, but that particular object has come in front of me, then my mind is disturbed. Think. So you don't like a person. So the person is, you forgot about that person is not visible nearby. Suddenly you meet the person in airport or railway station. Mind disturbs. Why are you are seeing so many people, why not disturbed? No, this particular person I am disturbed. So therefore, now, therefore, one more thing, second thing, see, only when I am there, they exist. When I don't exist, in deep sleep state, I am not there, I am deep in sleep. Neither mind is there nor objects are there, so they don't disturb me. So, what Bhagavan Krishna says, These two are actually upadhi of jiva. Upadhi means what? In essence, jiva is not influenced. In essence, jiva is untouched. So, but that upadhi creates an abhasa, a false notion. A color is attributed to the crystal. It's a false, it is not real. So, though the color is reflecting, you know I am not that. No, in Salarjung Museum in Hyderabad, you go, you find there are so many mirrors are available. In before one mirror you stand, you will see yourself, your image as a perfect football. You can see there. You stand there, football. Next mirror, goal mirror पर खड़ा है लपा. One mirror, you feel you are seeing your image is like elongated like a drumstick. In another mirror, you will find flat, horizontally grown. Funny mirror, all mirrors only. So when you are in the proximity of the mirror, you see yourself as that, but you know that you are not like that because you are established in yourself. So that appearance you laugh at it, is it not? You look at yourself in that and you enjoy. Why? I am not this. So therefore, first of all, both are upadhis. So what should be done? Tattvavittu mahabaho guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjate. That's what Bhagavan Krishna is indicating. Therefore, don't get attached. Don't get any worry. Don't think about this problem at all. What is it? Don't struggle to separate them. That's what Bhagavan Krishna says. Don't separate them. Why? Both are upadhi only. Why separate? Gunaha guneshu vartante. It's the nature. Mind has got that kind of desire. Those objects only are seen. When they are seen, mind goes towards that object. ठीक है, वो अपना अपना खेल है. मुझे क्या करना है? Why should I struggle to separate mind and object? देखिए, actually there is no struggle, and moreover, I said, when I am there, they exist. No, when I don't exist as in deep sleep state, I exist. I withdraw myself, withdrawn from mind and object. So mind withdrawn, no world. So mind arises, world is there. That means हमेशा जुड़वा है, साथ में रहते हैं. माइंड जग गया तो दुनिया आ गया. So, what is to be done now in dream sleep, deep sleep or dream? I will wake up. These two are unnecessary. Don't struggle. It's like, solving all problems of dream one by one. One by one. No, I will not wake up till I solve all the problems of dream. Like Vedanta Simha. Vedanta Simha means lion of Vedanta. What does the lion of Vedanta? It roars. Why? To wake us up. That's called Vedanta Simha. Such a lion wakes us up, no? In the dream, one lion roars at close from into your ear. You are sleeping, you went to picnic and sitting at the window. And window you opened because for ventilation. But window is very strong, no problem, grill is strong. But the tiger every day, you don't know, but tiger's duty is every day whoever new guest comes into that. I stayed in that Bandhavgarh forest reserve. I stayed in a guest house of Taj. Somebody, our own known person, the Taj belongs to one of our mission member only. So you stayed, we समझ आप रहे हो तो ठीक है. मेरे को सुनने का मौका मिलता है. बोला पता नहीं आपके भाग्य में हो तो आप रात को you can listen lions roar and footsteps and walking steps and all that. But कुछ सुनाई नहीं दिया मुझे. But anyway, suppose they are there. That one tiger or lion, every day they are used. यहाँ पे new guest आता है. At least they smell and go. And go. They can't eat. And that fellow roared. What will happen? You are dreaming there. You get up or not in the dream? That's called Vedanta Simha. So all gurus are called Vedanta Simhas. So the best is to wake up. So don't waste our time in separating. That's what he says. So Tattvavittu, on the contrary, the wise man, e Mahabaho, Gunaha, Guneshu Vartante. Clear? This Guna means sense objects here. Guneshu means the Indriyas. Guna means here Indriyas, the mind. Here in that context, Guna means what? Indriyas. Guneshu sense objects. Vartante. They go run away along with the mind. Iti matva, having understood, they aapas mein khel raha hai, na sajjate. I don't involve in that play. That is swabhava of those things. Mind gets attached to the respective object. It's swabhava. हमें क्या करना है? So my should focus should be who am I? Who is a drashta? Who is a seer? That focus should be on me, not on anything else. So these two are upadhis. And of jiva. So who is jiva? One who is identified with them is jiva. Don't get identified, Bhagavan Krishna, don't get identified with upadhi. Then you will be awakening to the truth. So this is the truth. Next sloka is little more time it takes. That I will see tomorrow. यहाँ पे अंदर घुस गए तो फिर again it takes a lot of time. So what is the first principle he said now in this? Both are upadhis of jiva, whose essential nature is Shuddha Brahma, Atman. So don't worry about these things. Find out to whom these thoughts are rising. Who is the seer? Like Ramana Maharshi, who am I? Oh, they are disturbing me. Good, but who are you? Who am I? They are disturbing me. Okay, fine, acknowledge. But who am I? Whom they are disturbing? Me. Who am I? Am I independent of them or dependent on them? So, when you ignore, mind becomes silent. In the beginning, the mind ego revolts with a great thrust. But that's why, bahirmukhatvam, unwanted discussions, unwanted analysis, unwanted judgments, unwanted gossip, unwanted talk, unwanted exposure to the world. And we are making chitta like in the tub of water, keep on banging it, with the hand, two hands. And what will the condition of the water? Like that, our mind, we keep on bang it. Kata, 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 kata. So withdraw and just observe whom they belong to. So this is my upadhi. Who am I? So I don't have to struggle to separate them. Mind automatically controls. This is higher technique. But with so much of mind is there, we cannot do it. Therefore, then karma, yoga, upasana, all that is unavoidable. But this is the state where an advanced seeker can reach. Okay. 26th verse we will start tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.